Something happened last night. While you were sleeping. While your heart was resting. A question was asked. And the person you love. They gave an answer. You need to hear what they said. But there's something you don't know yet. There's a piece of this story that's still hidden. Stay with me. The question came out of nowhere. Someone leaned in close. The room was quiet. And they asked it. Would you marry someone else? Just like that. Simple words. But heavy. So heavy. Your person paused. You know that pause. The one where time seems to stop. Where you hold your breath without realizing it. They opened their mouth. And then. They said something. But that's not all. There's another layer. Something happened right after that. Something even more important. You've wondered about this before. Haven't you? Late at night. When they're sleeping next to you. When the house is dark. And your mind starts wandering. You've asked yourself the same question. What would they say? Would they hesitate? Would they laugh? Would they look away? You've pictured that moment 1,000 times. But you never imagined this. You never imagined what actually happened. Because the truth is stranger. The truth is deeper. Another piece is coming. Have you noticed how they look at you sometimes? When they think you're not watching. When their guard is down. There's something in their eyes. Something unsaid. Something waiting. Maybe you've felt it. Maybe you've tried to ignore it. But tonight. Tonight everything changes. Because their answer wasn't what anyone expected. Not even them. Not even their own heart. Stay with me. The person who asked the question. They were testing something. They wanted to see. They wanted to know. But what they found. What your person revealed. It was never meant to be heard. It was a secret they carried. A truth they buried. A feeling they never spoke aloud. Until now. Now it's out in the open. And there's no taking it back. The next part will show you why. They thought about it. Your person. They actually thought about it. The silence stretched. 1 second. 2 seconds. 3. Everyone waited. Everyone held their breath. And then they spoke. But the words that came out. They weren't what you'd expect. They weren't simple. They weren't easy. They were complicated. Messy. Human. You'll understand soon. You've built a life together. You've made promises. You've shared dreams. But underneath all of that. Underneath the routine and the comfort. There's something else. A current. A pull. A question that never fully goes away. What if? What if things had been different? What if they had met someone else? What if they still think about that possibility? These are the questions we don't ask. But someone asked. And now the answer exists. One more piece is coming. Their voice shook. Just a little. Just enough for you to notice. If you were there. If you were listening. But you weren't. You were somewhere else. Sleeping. Dreaming. Trusting. And that trust. It's about to be challenged. Not broken. Never broken. But challenged. Because love isn't simple. It never was. And the answer they gave. It changes everything. But here's the part they don't tell you. Here's the part that matters most. After the words left their mouth. Something shifted. Something moved in the room. Something invisible. Something powerful. And the person who asked the question. They smiled. Not a mean smile. Not a cruel smile. A knowing smile. Because they understood something. Something your person didn't even realize they revealed. Another layer is about to unfold. This is the moment you've been waiting for. This is the truth that's been hiding. But I need you to listen carefully. I need you to stay present. Because what comes next? It might surprise you. It might comfort you. It might confuse you. But it will definitely move you. The biggest truth is still hidden. And you're about to see why. Your heart is racing right now. I can feel it. I know that feeling. The anticipation. The fear. The hope. You want to know what they said. You need to know. But that's not why I'm telling you this story. That's not the point. The point is something else. Something deeper. Something that will stay with you long after this is over. One final truth is waiting. Have you ever wondered why you're drawn to them? Why out of everyone in the world? You chose them. And they chose you. It wasn't random. It wasn't luck. It was something else. Something mysterious. Something written before you were born. And that something. It has a voice. It has a plan. It has a purpose. And tonight, that purpose is becoming clear. Stay till the end. The answer they gave. It wasn't about someone else. Not really. It was about them. It was about their journey. Their fear. Their hope. Their love for you. Yes, their love. That's the part you need to hear. That's the part that will heal you. But first, you need to understand the question. The real question. The one that wasn't asked out loud. The one that was hiding underneath. That's where the truth lives. You'll understand soon. The person you love. They didn't give a simple answer. They gave a story. A story about time. About choices. About moments that could have been different. About moments that weren't. A story about you. And someone else. But here's the twist. The someone else. They were never real. They were always a symbol. A mirror. A reflection of something your person was afraid to face. Something they're still learning to face. One more piece. They told the truth. That's what matters most. They could have lied. They could have said no. They could have played it safe. But they didn't. They chose honesty. They chose vulnerability. They chose to be seen. And that choice. It changes everything. But it also raises more questions. The biggest one. The one you're afraid to ask. You'll need to ask it yourself. But not yet. Not now. Now is not the time for answers. Now is the time for feeling. For sitting in the mystery. For letting the questions wash over you. For trusting that the truth is still unfolding. For knowing that this story isn't over. It's just beginning. And the best part. The part that will make your heart sing. It's still on its way. Another layer. The person you love. They're not perfect. Neither are you. Neither am I. But there's something about them. Something that made you choose them. Something that made them choose you. And that something. It's still alive. It's still growing. It's still becoming. Even now. Even after that question. Even after their answer. The journey continues. And you're both still walking it. Together. Maybe you're scared right now. Maybe your mind is spinning. Maybe you're wondering if you should trust them. Trust the love. Trust the future. That's okay. That's human. That's real. But here's what I need you to remember. The answer they gave. It wasn't the end. It was the beginning. A beginning of something new. Something deeper. Something more real. And that's worth staying for. That's worth holding on to. One more truth. One more layer. One more piece of this beautiful mystery. You're not alone in this. You never were. The person you love. They're with you. Even in their silence. Even in their hesitation. Even in their honesty. They're still with you. And that's the part you need to hear. That's the part that matters. Everything else. Everything else is just noise. The real answer is love. It's always been love. And it always will be. But wait. There's something else. Something I haven't told you. Something that happened after the question. After the answer. After the silence. Something unexpected. Something powerful. Something that will make you see everything differently. The biggest truth is still hidden. And it's about to reveal itself. You'll understand soon. The person you love. They said yes. And they said no. At the same time. In the same breath. In the same moment. How is that possible? How can two opposites exist at once? Because love is like that. It holds contradictions. It holds tension. It holds mystery. And that mystery. It's the most beautiful thing about it. Final piece. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning. The person you love. They have more to say. More to share. More to reveal. But not yet. Not now. Now is the time for patience. For trust. For faith. For knowing that the answer is coming. And when it comes, it will change everything. For the better. For the beautiful. For the real. You'll see. I'll tell you the rest. But not today. Today is for sitting with this. For letting it sink in. For feeling what you feel. For being with the unknown. The person you love. They are yours. And you are theirs. That's the truth. That's the foundation. That's the beginning of everything. You stayed. You waited. You trusted that something more was coming. And it is. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're living in two worlds at once? One world where everything is fine. Where they hold your hand. Where they say goodnight. Where life moves forward. And another world. A quieter one. A darker one. Where questions live. Where doubts breathe. Where you wonder if they ever think about leaving. Even for a second. Even in a dream. That second world. It's real. It's valid. It's part of you. But here's what you don't know yet. They have that second world too. They have those quiet moments. Those hidden fears. Those secret questions. And in their second world, there's something they've never told you. Something that connects to that answer. Something that makes everything make sense. Another piece. Remember when I said they paused? When the question was asked. When time seemed to stop. That pause wasn't empty. It was full. Full of memories. Full of moments. Full of a face. A face that wasn't yours. But also wasn't anyone real. A face they created. A face they imagined. A face that represented something missing. Not in you. In them. You'll understand soon. They said yes to someone else. But the someone else. It wasn't a person. It was a version of themselves. A version they never became. A version that took different paths. Made different choices. Loved differently. And when they said yes to that someone else, they were saying yes to that version. To what could have been. To what might have been. But also to what they let go of. To what they sacrificed. To what they chose to leave behind. For you. For you. Those are the two most important words. Not for someone else. For you. They chose you. They keep choosing you. Every single day. Even when they wonder. Even when they dream. Even when they pause. They choose you. But that choice came with a cost. A cost they never told you about. Until now. The next part. You see, the person you love. They carry something. A weight. A memory. A shadow. It's not about another person. It's not about someone they met. It's about a life they imagined. A life that could have existed. A life that was possible. And that life. It visits them sometimes. Late at night. When the world is quiet. When they're alone with their thoughts. When they wonder about the road not taken. But that road. It has nothing to do with leaving you. It has everything to do with finding themselves. Have you ever imagined a different life? A different partner? A different city? A different version of you? Probably. Maybe even often. And that doesn't mean you don't love them. It means you're human. It means you're alive. It means you're complex. So why would they be any different? Why would they be immune to wonder? To curiosity? To the gentle pull of what might have been? They're not. And that's okay. That's actually beautiful. Here's the part they didn't tell you. The person who asked the question. They already knew the answer. They knew before they asked. They knew because they saw something. Something in your person's eyes. Something in the way they looked at you. Something in the way they spoke about you. Something in the way they loved you. They knew the answer would be complicated. They knew it would be messy. But they also knew. It would reveal something deeper. Something truer. Something more real than a simple yes or no. And that's exactly what happened. When your person finally spoke. They didn't say yes or no. They said something else. Something unexpected. Something that made everyone in the room lean closer. They said, "Who would I be if I said yes?" That was their answer. A question. A profound, beautiful, terrifying question. Because it wasn't about the other person. It was about them. It was about their identity. Their journey. Their soul. Their love. And that question. It broke the room. It broke the expectation. It broke the simple binary of yes and no. Because it was honest. It was raw. It was real. And it opened a door. A door that had been closed. A door that had been locked. A door that neither of you knew existed. Now it's open. And what's behind it? That's the next part of the story. One more layer. What's behind that door is a conversation. A conversation you need to have. A conversation they need to have. A conversation that will change your relationship. Not because it's about someone else. But because it's about the two of you. About who you are separately. About who you are together. About who you're becoming. And that's the real question. Not, would you marry someone else? But, who are we becoming together? That question. It has an answer too. An answer that's still unfolding. An answer that depends on both of you. An answer that isn't written yet. And that's the beautiful part. Because you get to write it. Together. In real time. In real life. In real love. That's the gift of this moment. That's the gift of their answer. Their question. Their honesty. Their heart. Stay with me. But wait. There's still something else. Something I haven't mentioned. Something that happened after their question. After the room fell silent. After everyone processed what they heard. Something shifted in the air. Something electric. Something hopeful. And the person who asked the original question. They nodded. They understood. They saw the truth. And they said. You're lucky. Both of you. Because you have something rare. Something that doesn't come from saying yes. Something that comes from asking the hard questions. That was the moment. The moment everything changed. Not because they said the right thing. But because they said the real thing. Because they were vulnerable. Because they were honest. Because they chose truth over comfort. And that's what love needs to survive. That's what love needs to thrive. That's what love needs to become something more. Something eternal. Something unshakable. Something that can hold any question. Any answer. Any doubt. Any hope. Your person loves you. I know that. You know that. But now you know something else. You know that their love has depth. Has complexity. Has mystery. Has room for questions. Has room for wonder. Has room for the road not taken. And that doesn't weaken it. It strengthens it. Because now you know. Now you see. Now you understand. Their love isn't simple. It's profound. They will never leave you for someone else. That's not what their answer meant. Their answer meant something else entirely. It meant they're committed to the journey. To the growth. To the discovery. To the becoming. And that journey includes you. Always includes you. Never excludes you. Never leaves you behind. Their heart is yours. But it's also theirs. And that's how it should be. You'll understand this more in time. You'll feel it in their touch. You'll hear it in their voice. You'll see it in their eyes. The love that chose you. The love that keeps choosing you. The love that will always choose you. Not because it's easy. But because it's real. And real love. Real love is worth everything. It's worth the questions. The doubts. The late nights. The quiet moments. The hard conversations. All of it. But we're not done yet. Not quite. There's one more piece. One more layer. One more truth that's still waiting. And this one. This one is for you. This one is personal. This one is about your heart. Your fear. Your hope. Your own secret question. The one you've never asked. The one you've never spoken. The one that lives in your second world. We'll get to that. Soon. You've done so well. You've stayed. You've listened. You've trusted. And I'm proud of you. Because this isn't easy. Sitting with the unknown. Sitting with the mystery. Sitting with the love. But you're here. You're present. You're open. And that means something. That means everything. Because the next part. It's going to require even more of you. More trust. More openness. More courage. But I know you have it. So take a breath. Let this sink in. Feel the weight of their answer. Feel the weight of their question. Feel the weight of their love. And then, when you're ready, come back. Because the final piece is coming. The one that connects everything. The one that makes it all make sense. The one that will answer your secret question. The one you've been carrying. The one you've been hiding. It's almost time. But not yet. Not now. Now is for resting in this space. For letting the truth settle. For trusting that the answers are coming. For knowing that the love is real. The person you love chose you. They chose you with eyes open. With heart full. With questions asked. And with answers given. That's what matters most. That's what you need to hold on to. For now. The final truth is still hidden. But you've gotten closer. Closer than ever before. And when it finally reveals itself, you'll understand everything. Everything about them. Everything about you. Everything about this love. It's all connected. It's all beautiful. It's all waiting. The final piece. You came back. Of course you did. Because something is stirring in your heart right now. Something that wasn't there before. A knowing. A feeling. A quiet certainty that the story isn't finished. And you're right. It's not. Because the final piece. It's not about them anymore. It's about you. It was always about you. This whole time. This whole journey. You thought you were learning about the person you love. You thought you were uncovering their secrets. Their hidden thoughts. Their complicated heart. But that was just the surface. That was just the beginning. The real revelation. The one that changes everything. It's about you. Your heart. Your fears. Your own secret answer. One more layer. Let me ask you something. And I need you to be honest. I need you to be still. I need you to listen to the voice inside. The one that whispers when no one else is around. When the question was asked to them. What did you want them to say? Not what you expected. Not what you feared. What did you want? Deep down. In the quietest part of your soul. Did you want them to say no without hesitation? Did you want them to laugh and dismiss it? Did you want them to say, of course not? Or did you want them to pause? Did you want them to think? Did you want them to struggle? Because if they struggled, if they wrestled with the question, then their yes to you would mean more. It would be heavier. It would be realer. Because it wasn't automatic. It wasn't habit. It wasn't obligation. It was choice. Real choice. Hard choice. Beautiful choice. You see, there's a part of you that's been waiting for this. A part that's been testing them. Without even knowing it. A part that wanted to see if they'd choose you. Not because it was easy. But because it was true. Because you wanted proof. Proof that they see you. Proof that they value you. Proof that they'd fight for you. Even in their own mind. Even in their own heart. Even when no one was watching. But here's the part you didn't expect. Here's the part that might sting. Here's the part that will set you free. The question wasn't really about them. It was about you. It was about your worth. Your value. Your place in their heart. And you already knew the answer. You knew it the moment you fell in love. You knew it the moment they first held your hand. You knew it the moment they said your name like it was sacred. You just forgot. Forgot that you are worthy. Forgot that you are chosen. Forgot that you are loved. Forgot that their answer was written before the question was asked. Forgot that their heart belongs to you. Not because you demanded it. Not because you earned it. But because love. Love just happens. Love just is. Love just stays. And theirs has stayed. Even through the questioning. Even through the wonder. Even through the what-ifs. You need to understand something. When they answered that question, they weren't just talking about themselves. They were talking about you. They were holding your image in their mind. They were feeling your presence in their soul. They were remembering the way you smile. The way you laugh. The way you look at them. And that memory was their anchor. Their anchor in the storm of the question. Their anchor in the sea of possibility. Their anchor in the what could have been. You are their anchor. You've always been their anchor. Even when they thought about someone else. Even when they imagined a different life. Even when they wondered about the road not taken. You were there. In every thought. In every feeling. In every possibility. Because you aren't just a person to them. You're a home. A safe place. A constant. And that doesn't change. It never changes. But now you need to ask yourself something. And this is the final piece. The one that's been waiting. The one that will unlock everything. Are you their anchor? Or are they yours? Because the answer. It has to be both. It has to be mutual. It has to be equal. And if you're not sure, if you're still wondering, then maybe that's what you need to explore. Maybe that's what you need to heal. Maybe that's what you need to become. The person you love. They aren't perfect. Neither are you. But they're willing to grow. Willing to change. Willing to become more. And that's what love is. That's what love does. That's what love requires. It requires courage. It requires honesty.